permanent suntan. Well, Dave's going to slow down because the next street on the left hand side is the main avenue leading to Fettes College. It might even remind you of Hogwarts, the school in Harry Potter. So the main avenue to the school coming up on your left, right to the front door.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, goodness me.
Well, the new town of Edinburgh that started off its life in the 1760s was built over 7 phases, and we're driving at the moment through the 7th and last phase of the new town. These houses still built of Craigleith stone, and as you can see, still very elegant crescents. But in a few seconds time, coming up on our right hand side is a church tower. Once we pass it, we'll be driving over the Dean Bridge, built by the famous bridge builder Thomas Telford. Built the bridge to take the road over the river, the Water of Leith, which is flowing underneath the bridge. Those of you who are sitting on the right of the coach can look over the parapet down into the little village of Dean, a little village right in the heart of the city of Edinburgh, where in the past the corn mills of the city were located, using the river for power. The gas main one. It just because of gas mains. There's diversions for other traffic. That's just really coming out along the street.
I'll go along yeah. That's not bad in the railway.
Well, as we turn the corner, up above us is the flag of the Irish Consulate, and then you'll see the flags of the French Consulate. This building ahead of us on the left was opened by General de Gaulle in 1942 when he was in exile in Britain during the Second World War. He opened the house here on our left as the Free French House in Scotland, today the French Consulate. Well, we're rumbling our way over the cobbles of the new town. Up above us on either side at first floor level, the elegant cast iron balconies of these new town homes, and a rather attractive circus of houses ahead of us. Just glancing up the street to our right, you'll see the dome of what was St George's Church on St George's Square, now of course Charlotte Square. We'll be driving through the square a little later on in our city tour, but we're now going to join Queen Street, the northern limit of the first new town of Edinburgh, with houses only on one side of the street, on the right hand side facing out into the countryside. Then, at the beginning of the 19th century, gardens were introduced on the opposite side of the street, the private gardens, the houses across the street. They originally had tunnels from the basement of the house, underneath the roadway, into their private garden. Well, because of the weight of traffic on Queen Street today, the tunnels are all infilled, and owners of these homes now have keys to let themselves in through the railings of their private gardens. And it was on this street, Queen Street, that James Young Simpson, Scottish doctor, first used chloroform as an anaesthetic. After dinner in his house here in Queen Street, he passed a bottle of chloroform round the table. His fellow doctors all took a good sniff and collapsed underneath the table, much to the distress of their wives. But of course, once Queen Victoria had used chloroform during the birth of her 8th child, Prince Leopold, well, if the Queen uses chloroform, it must be okay for the rest of us to do so. And James Young Simpson was the first Scottish doctor knighted by Queen Victoria. This house was on our right hand side here, just where you see the scaffolding coming up ahead of us to the right. Down beneath us on the left hand side, on the other side of Queen Street Gardens, was the street in which Robert Louis Stevenson was brought up, his childhood home in Heriot Row, which is just parallel to us beyond the gardens. When we go through the next set of traffic lights ahead of us here at Queen Street, to the right you'll see the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh, with the Goddess of Health or Hygiene, Hygeia, up top. We're going to the left.
Oh, the stairway.
And you'll see to your right Hippocrates and Aesculapius. Hippocrates was Dr. Swear, the Hippocratic Oath, and Aesculapius, the Greek god of medicine, so the Royal College of Physicians.